What's up, guys? My name is Nick. I'm 22, and I have chronic Lyme disease. So basically, I just wanted to make a video, just kind of telling my story, my experience so far, just starting from when my symptoms first started popping up to getting diagnosed and where I'm at in my treatment right now. I guess the main reason I'm making this is because when I was diagnosed, and I was doing research on my own at home. The thing I found most helpful was hearing other people's stories and just finding comfort in knowing I wasn't alone in this crazy, crazy thing. It was just awesome to see such a supportive community out there. And it did me a lot of good and left a positive impact on me. So hopefully, I can do the same for someone else. That'd be awesome. So if you're new to this whole Lyme disease thing, welcome. And if you've been around the block a few times, hopefully you can relate to something and just take something positive out of it. That'd be beautiful. But before I begin, I guess, I just want to apologize if I pause or I forget something in the middle of saying it, because my memory is just terrible. It's just another awesome symptom that I have. And most of my symptoms are neurological. I mean, I have basically everything, but my chief complaints are on the neuro side, and so I'll get into all that. But I guess I'll just start at the beginning. I didn't have an indicator, no rash. I might have had flu-like symptoms, but didn't really. I can't remember, to be honest. I know I was sick a little bit before all my symptoms started coming up, but who knows? So yeah, this whole thing in total has been going on about a year and a half for me, and got a bit of ways to go, I think, but I definitely have made some big strides, and staying positive, that's all you can do. But anyway, so February 2012 is when it all started for me. It's my junior year of college, and I was a Division I baseball player, and my first symptoms, the first time I noticed anything wrong was in the middle of a game. I was in center field, just standing in between pitches. All of a sudden, I just got extremely dizzy and off balance, and my vision just went really blurry for a bit, and I just felt off. And off as in I had never felt that way before that day. It was just a little strange. I just dismissed it as being a little dehydrated, I guess, and just tried to ignore it and just go on and keep playing. And so that's what I did. Next day, though, had another game. Same thing happened. Along with the blurry vision, though, I started getting double vision, and that's when I got a little concerned. And I still just try to ignore it and just try to push through it. But those 2 days were really the first, the start of this whole thing, I guess. So yeah, my first symptoms were basically with my vision. I started noticing I had a really hard time just tracking objects in motion and just focusing on them. So, watching a ball come in was extremely difficult, and batting practice was terrifying, but just try to ignore it. I started getting floaters everywhere, just filled my entire vision. And then, I guess I describe it as like static vision. If I were to look up at, say, like the sky or a white blank wall or something like that, it just almost looks like a static television set, just with the opacity a little down and in front of my eyeballs. So that was fun. So after all my vision symptoms started coming along, I was getting these headaches that I guess never went away. Um, they start in the back of my neck, just on my right side, work its way up, and then just kind of wrap around my whole head. Uh, just kind of dismissed it as a migraine. Never had a migraine before, but it's like, well, this is what a migraine must feel like. This sucks. But yeah, it just never went away. And then it just felt like my head was just 10 times its size. I thought it was just gonna explode at any moment, but that wasn't fun. Still not fun. But after the headaches, I just noticed my fatigue was terrible. I was extremely weak. My energy level was so low, and it was just strange because I was an athlete. I was in pretty great shape, and I was conditioned pretty well. And it was like overnight, all of a sudden, all that work just kind of went away, and with no explanation. I started getting just muscle and joint pain, burning, tingling, numbness all in my right side of my body, my hands and my feet and my arm, my shoulder, muscle spasms just constantly. And then I started getting like hot flashes, and just my body temperature was always just fluctuating, and I just started sweating for no reason. It was a little embarrassing, but yeah, I guess those were like all on the onset of everything, and then more and more kind of came as the days and weeks went on. And then I started noticing the cognitive issues in the classroom, what I would later call just brain fog, just a state of confusion. It was so strange, and it was so surreal. My memory was terrible. I'd be in a lecture, and my teacher would say something. I'd go to write it down. 2 seconds later, just cannot remember what she said. So it was hard to keep up in class because I couldn't. I just had this just confusion, and all this clarity that I was so used to having was just gone, and I could feel it getting worse and worse every day, and that was scary. What else? Concentrating along with that was extremely difficult. I had a hard time listening and talking to people. Someone would be talking to me, and I'd hear them, but I wouldn't be able to take in exactly what they were saying. And then when I tried to talk back, I had word block. I couldn't find the words. I couldn't spit out the words I was thinking. And when I did say something, I'd slur my words, and I'd mumble a bit, and it was just, I don't know, it was like almost like stroke symptoms, and so that was kind of strange. And I'm an art major. I play guitar and piano every day, and this really affected my creativity. If given an assignment or a project, or if I'm just writing something on my own, I couldn't do it because my mind was just focused on all these other things that had no explanation, and it just kind of consumed me, and it was really, really debilitating. And from that, I got terrible anxiety. Never dealt with anxiety about anything in my life, and all of a sudden, I'm having panic attacks daily. I was having mood swings. I get really irritable, which is it was just so out of character for me, and it was just so frustrating. I couldn't control it. And then on top of all that, I was extremely depressed, and everything that I loved was just kind of being sucked out of me. and there's no answer. And I wasn't really talking to anyone about this. I was just trying to ignore it and just go on with everything the best I could. But it just kept piling up. And so this was all going on with about 3 or 4 months after my initial symptoms first started. Some other stuff that I remember was my senses were a little off, like my touch, my smell, and my hearing. Then I had a hard time judging depth, and my perception was off. Um, I was getting I felt like lost in like places I had been hundreds of times before. It felt like I was almost out of my own body, and I had no control. And yeah, it was just really, I guess, frustrating. Would describe it the best. It was scary. It was a lot of things, but it became too much, and I couldn't ignore it any longer. And I finally had to come home, and symptoms just kept piling up as I became one with my couch. I just could not get off the couch to save my life because I felt just so terrible from the second I woke up to the time I went to sleep. And even in my sleep, I had insomnia, so I couldn't even escape really. Some more vision issues came up. I was getting halos and after images a lot. I started getting air hunger at night when I was trying to sleep. Like all of a sudden I couldn't breathe. I was having heart palpitations. I was getting this weird pain in the right side, like right beneath my ribs. And that would kind of come and go, but when it came, it really came on, and it really hurt. I was having TMJ symptoms in my jaw and up into my temples. My teeth were extremely sensitive, and I just had so many symptoms going on. It was just overwhelming. And so when I came home, we went to every doctor imaginable. First thing we did was went to a neurologist, and all right, let's get an MRI, CAT scan for some brain tumors. So that was fun. Thankfully, that wasn't. They didn't find anything. But I was doing research on my own too when I first came home, just trying to figure this thing out. And sometimes the internet's your best friend. Sometimes it can scare you to death. But I was doing it anyways, and I came across Lyme disease, and my symptoms fitted pretty perfectly. And I live here in Southern California, and I brought it to my doctor's attention, and I didn't know too much about it except for you get it from a tick bite, and that was about it. And that it was mostly common on the eastern side of the country, and I think that's all my doctor knew about it too, because he's like, no, it's not that, but let's draw your blood anyway. And he drew the blood, got tested, came back negative. Which I would later find that it's just not that easy for a blood test for Lyme. But anyways, saw a bunch of different doctors for a really long time, about 6-7 months. Talked about everything from fibromyalgia, and then actually being treated for MS for a bit there. I was getting steroid injections into my head for my pain, and I got a neck epidural, and I was, this whole time I was going to acupuncturists and getting deep tissue massages and chiropractor appointments, and it'd give me temporary relief, as in 1 or 2 hours, if that, and then it was almost like I didn't get anything done. So 7 months of all that was very debilitating, sucked the life out of me. Just worst time of my life by far. Just no answers. So one day I was talking to my friend's mom about what I was experiencing, and she said, "Oh, I have a friend that actually had a bunch of the same symptoms you did. I'll give her number to you." And so I called her up, and turns out she had Lyme disease. And I was like, "Oh wow, that's strange." I was looking into that right when I came home, and she kind of filled me in on the whole controversy around it and the appropriate steps you need to take in order to get a more accurate test. And so luckily there was a doctor in the area that she went to that she recommended, and we went to him, and he recognized uh, Lyme from my story, and he says, "Let's get you tested." And so we sent the blood up to a Genix up in Palo Alto, and a month later, results came back, and it's positive for Lyme, and I had a co-infection with Bartonella, and just finally getting that diagnosis was was great, but it was just kind of the beginning of the whole journey. And so I started treatment in January of this year, 2013, and it's now May. I started off on oral antibiotics. I won't get into too specifically of my treatment right now. I might make another video about that. But after 5 months on the orals, I just started 2 weeks ago IV antibiotics, and I got the port here, and there's a little line. I just pulled my chest there a little bit. It's all good. But yeah. So my symptoms, with treatment, they're coming and going. Herxing, you can't really avoid it. It's pretty terrible. But I've definitely made progress, and I think I'm just gonna stop it here. I don't want this to go on for too long. But this is where I'm at now. I have my good days and bad days, but I definitely have improved, and that's really encouraging. I got a bit of ways to go probably, but just trying to get my life back. Everyone that's going through this, their life's on hold basically. It's hard being on the sideline, especially watching my friends all graduate college this year, and I wish I can be up there with them, but at the same time, they've been so supportive. My family and my girlfriend and all of my friends have been so loving and supportive, and I've been the one that's been instilling knowledge about Lyme into them, because not a lot of people know too much about it. So it's important to share our stories, I think, and I feel like shit every day, but I'm getting better, and by people sharing their stories, I can stay positive, and so hopefully that's what I can do for some other people out there. And so I'll wrap this up right now, but like I said, I'll probably make another video just going more in depth about treatment and my supplements, and even the diet I've been pretty religious with. It makes a big difference. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. I appreciate it, and hope you have a good day. All right, guys, take it easy.